Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, I'll bring you another Madden Builds Us a Thursday Night Football Parlay. This is a series that we started this year. Let's go ahead and take a look at how we did last week. Last week, we were really close to hitting Dalton Schultz. He missed his receiving yard mark. Honestly surprised by that, considering how injured that wide receiver room was for the Texans. Definitely thought he was going to have a bigger game than he did. When it comes to this week, though, we got a good divisional game. Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams that are really good on paper. They both are kind of struggling with injuries a little bit right now. More so the Bengals than the Ravens, though. The Bengals, Zach Moss was done for the year, and T. Higgins is also out this week. And they also lost their starting tight end last week to a torn ACL. Ravens, they don't got Isaiah Likely going into this game. But let's go ahead and take a look at stats. So if you're someone who likes to bet on money line or spread, according to Madden, you're going to want to pick the Cincinnati Bengals. They do cover the spread, and they also win the game. So that's what you want to do. We don't do that here. We use Prizepicks. So we're going to take a look at some player stats, starting off with the quarterbacks, and we're going to talk about the Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, to start. Lamar, he has 202 pass yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 74 completion percentage. We like the completion percentage. We like the touchdown score. We like not turning the ball over. The main concern here with this stat line is the only 202 pass yards. I get Lamar's a mobile quarterback. You would like for him to have more pass yards, though, than barely over 200, but we'll have to see what he does in the run game. Joe Burrow, on the other hand, 208, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, 66 completion percentage. Pretty good game. We like the 2 scores. We like the 66 completion percentage. We don't love the turnover. We'll live with it. And then 208 yards. Joe Burrow, you're going to want him to do more, and I think the Bengals want a solid chance to win. He's going to have to throw for more than 208 yards. Joe Burrow, he's not a mobile quarterback like Lamar. You're not going to run designed runs with him, but, I mean, who knows? Maybe he has a big game on the ground to make up for that 208. We'll have to wait until we get to the rushing stats, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at now, starting off with the Baltimore Ravens. We got Derrick Henry, 8 attempts, 27 yards, no touchdowns. Pretty surprising there. I mean, Derrick Henry, I believe he's gotten in the end zone every game this year, and the Cincinnati Bengals' run defense is not good. It's just not good. So I definitely think Derrick Henry will get into the end zone. I definitely think he'll have more than 8 attempts, and I definitely think he'll go over the 30 rush yards. That's just my opinion, but this is what Madden's saying. Lamar Jackson, 5 attempts, 35 yards, no touchdowns. I think Lamar's going to go over all those numbers too. I mean, they call design runs for this guy, and he's good at it. Nelson Aguilar, 1 attempt for -2 yards. Not too worried about that. I don't really see that happening. If they're going to run the ball with anyone, it'll probably be Zay Flowers. On the Bengals side, you got Chase Brown, 12 attempts, 57 yards, no touchdowns. Pretty good game for Chase Brown as the new starter, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. And when it comes to Joe Burrow, this is what I'm talking about. 4 attempts for 11 yards, no touchdown. You're not going to count on Joe Burrow to drop 60 to 50 yards rushing. He can give you a solid 10 to 20, though. When it comes to when it comes to receiving, we're going to talk about the Ravens first. Deontay Johnson, the new wide receiver acquisition for the Baltimore Ravens. He has a pretty good game with 6 receptions, 80 yards, and 1 touchdown. He struggled a little bit last week, so it was nice to see him bouncing back. And according to this, I mean, if this is true, Ravens fans, you should be looking pretty excited about your new wide receiver. Nelson Aguilar, 6 receptions, 55 yards, no touchdowns. Pretty interesting game here for a guy who, after the Deontay Johnson trade, is probably the 4th option in the offense behind Flowers, Johnson, and Mark Andrews. Derrick Henry, 3 attempts, 16 yards, no touchdowns, and Mark Andrews, 2 attempts, 16 yards, no touchdowns. With Likely out, you would hope Mark Andrews has a better game. Derrick Henry, you could live with that. He's not really known for receiving. Zay Flowers, you're going to hope he has better too, with only 1 reception for 25 yards. This is your wide receiver 1. I don't think the trade changes that. I still think he's the wide receiver 1. And then your fullback, Ricard, comes in and gets 1 reception for 10 yards. I don't really see that happening. When it comes to the Bengals, first we're going to talk about Andre Yosivas, I believe the name is. That's how you pronounce it. 6 receptions, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. With no T. Higgins, he could be the wide receiver 2 tonight. So I do like this move. Based on the stats, I think we could bet on him. Jamar Chase, 4 receptions, 42 yards. You would hope that your star receiver has a better game like that and hopefully gets into the end zone. Chase Brown, 2 receptions, 2 yards. Pretty interesting here. I don't know how you can pull that off. Jermaine Burton, another guy that you're hoping to step up in the absence of T. Higgins. 1 reception for 6 yards. Mike Gesicki, 1 reception for 9 yards. And Drew Sample, 1 reception for 10 yards. When it comes to the parlay that we're going to end up making. These are the stats that we're going to be picking the overs on. We will be talking about that here in the next slide and talking about how much money we could win. So we're going to take USC Voss over 22.5 receiving yards. I think with no T. Higgins, he will be the wide receiver 2. I definitely think that'll be easy to hit. Chase Brown over 49.5 rush yards. He's just got to get 50, and he was good last week, so I don't see why not. And then Deontay Johnson needs over 2 receptions. With that being said, you put $10 on that, you could win 45. So I know it's not like the big $100, $200 payout, but hey, these small ones every week, they could add up if they start hitting. Let's go ahead and take a look at our total winnings for the year. We've only won $20. If you guys don't know, the whole purpose of this series is to see if we can make some money back from Madden in the aspect of we spend $70 on it every year. Let's go ahead and see if we can rely on Madden to give us good picks, good simulations, and building a parlay off that to see if we can make our $70 back. Because, to be honest, this game's kind of copy and paste every year. So we do this every Thursday. We build a parlay based on their stats. But when it comes to this video, that's all we got. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.